Let's see. Righteous Indignation. This was a couple of patches ago. I forget where I'm at. Oops. There she is. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
That my sins should be repeated. I sense not the faintest stirring as to who could have called him forth. I know of none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children. The icon claimed their souls. When first he manifested and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Allagan's dark designs.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Yes, the dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Cursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. Again you profane the memory of my beloved, and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What do you want from me?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
I should burn your ass, but I'm trapped. So I'm just gonna tell you some stuff. Remember, I was the first who summoned my beloved praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed, ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the first brood wield. For to lose myself the Icon's influence, so all would pay the price. But it's a little matter, for even had the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Speaketh thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow, for the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and to all those who have suffered for my sins. I shall fight with you, children of man. Smug. While pork seeds have been shown to be effective in curing the temper, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. We suppose we can find that information here. Yes, we can. We can indeed. Alligans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives. I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to remove both those shackles. Now, Alphanode and Chloe were here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Whoa. Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. I took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make thee take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tutaru's famous tea, and be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water. I think not. See. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. Oh, yes, we are familiar with it, the Ether Chemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, maybe we should take this, a spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Oh. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I carry my blood with me all the time. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambrose, Bonge, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try at least. Agreed, we will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. Let us split up and search the flagship. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments that would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor lest Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we shall convene. Whose ships are these? We'll compare notes. Obstraparis node. Krrr! Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause intruder interference. Advised deployment of automated combat units proceed. No. Bad node. A loaderous node. Does that mean it smells bad? Metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Replace damaged parts. Retreat to a safe distance. Oh my. Oh, you're downstairs. Clamorous node. Bloop bloop. Scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. No. Oh no! I'm afraid Estina and I have little to show for efforts. Did. A note just smelled like burnt hair. Yeah, here's one talking about restraints. Spontaneous, they say. Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node to which Graha spoke. And it was chirping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. We shall need a chicken then. Why did I do that? I'm just gonna have to get on the horse. Weird. World's weirdest mount. Except for that head. Do you wish to operate it? I do. Release the dragons onto the planet to destroy everybody. It'd be a royal family. I got blood here. So basically you just have to kill a royal member and then you have control of this place. That was not a good idea. This was poor thinking. New user detected commencing biometric authentication. Complete. You are a member of the royal family. Please state your name. Bob. Alpha node. Alpha node. You're royal, aren't you? Whoa. It's just confusing. Use your own damn name. Hey, it changed my name. I did not give you permission to change my name. Rude. Forced me to do the storyline correctly. Why did you ask? Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. Update. What do you suppose it's asking of us? Smash it to pieces. I could guess. I would guess turn it off and then back on. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Bloop. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. But it's not like you have people to do these updates. They don't just happen magically. Can it work or not? It can. It needs an update. Derpy dragon. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Issuing application protocols. I'm here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying, but I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Do you feel placated? He shook his head. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum. For vengeance. Radun. Bleep blip. Blip blip blip. Where are you? Are you? They're a terminal. You are the wrong terminal. Bleep bloop. Flop flop. Meow 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 meow. Where's the frickin' tunnel? Wow. Wow. Navigating's hard. Wasn't I just over here? Wasn't I just... What? Okay. Let me get out my C++. Let's see, according to the terminal, a central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask us which version you are employing? 2. Why, software version 42.002, of course. Bloop, bloop. Warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update 5 years, 1 day. That's rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options, for instance, using this terminal to operate TMS restraints instead? That's an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Can't imagine it changed that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain. Just tell me if we've made any progress. Yeah. It does require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pro once I'm ready to release the shackles. Release the shackles! It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. See? See? Now you're wishing it had your name. I may have yet use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. Why? He has his own blood. So we all have his blood. Someone pat Estinian on the head. I want to know something. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allegan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Asians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Asians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fen Daniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? I want to understand him. But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? If he wishes to die, say we oblige him. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. But the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, let's get back to our task. Let's rejoin the others. Fat Chocobo, huh? Fat Chocobo, wait. Chocobo butt. Cabbage is gonna fall off the stick. Oh, I have cake. Okay. Whoa. There you go. I look at cake and bam. Lost. You will waddle for cabbage, but to fly needs cake. Estian told me all as well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood from a stone from him. With him, I take it from Alphinaud's absence that he's needed elsewhere. He's computer hacking. Well, that sounds rather frustrating, but you got here there in the end. While you were off talking to Nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic, namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it might very well. I should not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphinaud to disengage restraints. Ethereal dampers. Counting on you, Angelo. Poor pig. Such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten? Of war with men? Of Alleg? Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. She trusts you. Go speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. You're literally standing right next to me. Tell me of Bahamut and the Asians. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved, would that the peace we found in Mercidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Asians saw to that. In all creation I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Alag first came unto Mericidia, unto our home. Okay, I'm blind now. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees, surrounded by nature's bounty. Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlian scholar Rarusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the second astral era. Correctly, it would appear, if only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion, such was their fear of dragonkind, and as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. But as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony, too, were fated to end. For the men of Alex slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Asians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Asians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Ugh, thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over... Keep going, Alizé, the magic is working. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for the treating of a great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. And I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go.
No! I'm almost there! This is it, Angelo!
I feel that the icon's script growth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Oops. No! Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more, but should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
It's painful.
By the gods!
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shell.
I know I've seen this cutscene already. And maybe someday I will reorganize my Sunlight's YouTube better. But until now, I like to watch the storyline on this character better. I'm sure desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Flames of War. And they're about to do maintenance in like a couple minutes, so this suddenly ends, that's why. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Blah at the Hall of the Flames. Let us collect Alphonse and be on our way. Will I see it like this, or will I see her trapped there now? Ah, you tricked me. Hey, Fanford. You have 2 minutes to talk to me. I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say the Telephoroi have other plans. Paglathon is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Terrapin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. 'Tis good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Al-Malji. Abandon them? Did we not profess to be their friends? This guy. Your Grace, Marshal Terrapin had made provisions for such an exigency, and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. These are the Tsar's words. Sorry. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of the intervention. Nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Paglathon. Yet even with our combined strength we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of the Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and its draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amaljan show any signs of tempering. Strange, what primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it's incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, asking or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and the others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming, that is, you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. So next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as Her Grace requests. Lest we forget, Ehrenwald and Fordola are in no blah 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 blah. And so that ends the storyline for now. That was probably enough anyway.